Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to probably the most aggressive race or races in Gran Turismo. Whenever this combination comes up, when you have the Mazda MX-5 Roadster touring car around Tsukubu, things really just go down the pan. Everyone's sportsmanship. It isn't even E, it's Z. They should make a new Z rating for this race, because things really do go downhill very quickly. And this was the case a couple of months ago, because this combination came up a few months ago. I think I made a video on it about, I think it was 2 months. And, well, everyone was R4Ming all over the place. Let's see if that is the case once again as we come through the hairpin. And, well, there we go. The Italian plunging straight into the rear end of the Frenchman. As we move up into third, taking plenty of grass there. The Spaniard in the lead, he's loving this. He's loving life right now. 2K19, just driving off into the distance in the lead, whilst everyone else mullers the crap out of each other. Now, I mean, Mazda MX-5s, this is the kind of car which the racing often involves a lot of door banging, and probably a lot more, to be honest. Into the final corner, it's only a 5-lap race, so it's not Daily Race C. We have had this combination in Daily Race C once, and that was a little bit calmer because of the longer race, but in Race A or Race B, it's a lot more aggressive. You don't have much time, maybe about 6 minutes to try to get the job done, or not even 6 minutes, I think it's like 5.5 minutes for this race. So you don't have much time to really make positions up. We've made one position up so far. Frenchman goes very deep into the hairpin. Are we going to be able to get alongside? No, not quite. He settles back into second. Spaniard in the lead, just a long way ahead. But yeah, there is something about this combination that just springs up a lot of aggression, and it probably is just the fact that in this type of car, this type of circuit is a small circuit, lots of tight corners. You're on a grid standing start, which means that you're a lot closer compared to the rolling starts where you're normally spread out. And it's just a combination of many factors which all amalgamate together to produce one of the most aggressive races known to humanity. It belongs in Wreckfest, and you'll see that in the next race especially, because this one has been okay so far. As we go on to lap 3, this one's quite spread, but it's the next race, race 2, that's where it really began to kick off. Things really went down the toilet by the second race. This one is actually going not too bad. The first lap was a bit aggressive, as it usually always is around here, but so far it's been nice and settled. We are we gaining on the lead? I can't quite tell. I don't think he's getting away, if anything, but we are sticking quite close to him. On purple here. If you can start doing mid 105s in the race, I think that is a very solid pace, which should probably see you towards the front of the pack. So the Frenchman just a little bit going defensive. I'm not going to get enough of a run here, because this final corner doesn't really have a long braking zone. You kind of trail brake in because of the fast curved entry, so there's no real opportunity to send it on the inside. But if you look here, there is going to be an opportunity into the first corner of lap 4, and we get the move done, and that is absolutely beautifully done. Clip the apex, no SR down, no contact made whatsoever. Beautiful stuff, absolutely beautiful. But as I've said, that's about as good as it gets, because it's all going to go downhill in a minute in race 2. So we just have to keep this guy behind as we sweep through the right hander under the Dunlop bridge, or whatever that thing is. Half a tyre sticking out of the ground randomly. A massive tyre. What kind of car would use a tyre that big? I don't know. Into the hairpin, onto the back straight, and I think, well, I know the Spaniard, barring anything really ridiculous, is going to win this one. It's really just about trying to keep this guy behind for one more lap. Half a second gap to myself, and actually gone a little bit too late into this final corner. Get on the power. You can use quite a lot of the artificial grass here on the exit of the final turn. Into turn 1 then, a 105.7 there. which included an overtake at the start of that lap, so not too bad a lap time. The last 3 laps, 105.8, 105.5, 105.7. Solid consistency. Lap 3 was actually the quickest lap in the race so far. So not too bad. We have actually dropped behind the leader a little bit more. A gap above 2 seconds. So the Frenchman here quite close. I did make a bit of a mistake. Made an absolute hash of the hairpin. And he's going to be within somewhat a range of going for a mega dive bomb of the decade. Not close enough on this occasion. He thinks better of it. And we're going to stay ahead as we come up to the final corner of the race. It's actually an easy corner to get wrong though, this last one. Very easy just to brake a little bit too late, go a little bit too deep, and for something to go wrong in some way. Can we get it right this time around? Yes, we can. So we're going to finish in second, started 4th. That is a solid return. It's quite hard to win that race unless the leader really gets into a big fight quite early, especially if you're starting 4th. But we'll take a second. And Mr. Disco's there, quite happy with that, punching the air in delight. We move to race number 2. Should I say Destruction Derby number 2. Away we go from the line. Immediately get that traction control off. I'm going to move over to the inside, protect the inside line, make people go around the outside. Is the Italian going to go for the move? Yes, he is! Up the inside, there he goes. A rude move up into the lead. Side by side now with the Frenchman. Coming through this little S-bend into the middle hairpin. Going to go deep here to try to get the outside line, go around the outside. Bit of contact between the two of us. And the Frenchman comes through. We have a bit of a run here, side by side through here. Got the inside line. There's some contact, and as he comes back, there's going to be more contact. He's not happy. As we come through here, just going to turn right into a left-hander and really show me who's boss. F4H Super GT having none of that. Going to come back at him. The aggression is turned up to absolute max levels right now. We have a very angry Frenchman in our company, and similar to the previous race, the leader is just going to look into his rear view mirror with glee as we all start World War III in his rear view. So the Italian, aggressive, and well, it's paid off for him. But it looks like this race, it's just one of those races, and it kind of sometimes shows off the downsides of the penalty system, because the penalty system only seems to really penalise you if you make contact with someone and then they go off. You hit them so hard they go off, or you hit them and then they just go off because they brake too late or whatever. But if you hit them really hard and then they stay on the track, well, nothing happens, which is a bit weird, a bit silly. I can understand it's quite difficult to make a system that works 100% of the time for every possible scenario. Frenchman up the inside, saw it coming, kind of had to leave the space, but it's kind of worked for him. So big dive bombs, he's obviously he's not happy about what happened on lap 1. So he went for the full send, pressed the big red button, and went for the launch up the inside, and he's up to second. Perhaps I could have turned in on that one and just said, well, we dive bombed me. Dive bomb me, stewards. You saw it. So we're going to have to sit in 3rd place for now and be patient here, as he actually sets the quickest lap of the race there, 105.5, including a dive bomb. Maybe dive bombing is quicker. Let's do dive bombs every corner and then set like a 1:03 or something, because clearly it's the way to go. Into the middle hairpin, and we are right on his tail. Look at that, pretty much kissing the rear bumper, so to speak. Through the middle right hand of the dog leg right, you can just take that flat, I think, normally just with a hint of a lift. And what you can do, I can do better. So he covers it. We're going to go for a big dive bomb. He actually turns away from it. Big move on display. Get out of the way, mate. So it's 1-1 in terms of mega dive bombs of the decade into that final hairpin. Up towards the last turn on lap 3, 2 to go. This one is fast becoming a dive bomb pageant. It's not really a race anymore. We've taken the gloves off, and it's really getting argy-bargy. I'm going to go defensive. What's he going to do? He's going to go for it, and it's going to be quite a late one. We've kind of forgotten about how to race here. we're just going to start dive bombing each other from about 50 metres back. And he covers the inside. Will we go for another dive bomb? No, not quite. He gets a little bit out of shape on the exit. I'm on the left hand side. We went side by side through on the first lap. I'm going to back out on this occasion. Normally not the best place to go side by side. Are we going to go for a dive bomb here? Is he going to cover it off? What's going to happen? He covers it off. That's not stopped me on the previous lap though, to be fair. Could still always just go for it. Send it half on the grass if you have to. We get the run on the exit. Are we quite going to get the run? On the way up to the final turn, we've got a nose about level with his rear wheel. Is it enough to go for the move? Yes it is, half on the grass. And with some contact, I kind of tried to keep that as narrow as I possibly could. Side by side coming out, he's got the run, he's got the momentum. On to the final lap of the race. We have the inside line here. Are we going to go for the move? You bet we are. Just making contact. Not much space to go into. We have to settle for third place for now. We now have the close attention of the Portuguese driver behind. So we mustn't start fighting excessively here. Otherwise we're all going to lose loads more positions and drop down potentially into fourth. After looking at second would be about as good as we could get. Through the long left, using plenty of the grass through there, doesn't slow down too much. Into the hairpin. Could we go for one mega dive bomb? It's not quite going to happen. We're right on his tail. Could we get a better exit though? Not on this occasion. It's all going to rely on the slipstream here and potentially overtake of the Millennium. It's going to have to be something along those lines. The Italian gets through the final turn. He's going to convincingly win. He actually goes in quite narrow. I was looking for the cutback. He parks it quite well. So I'm going to finish third on this occasion. And what a scruffy race that was. Bloody hell, I hope that doesn't get repeated. It probably will though. It is MX-5s around Tsukubu, and that's pretty much par for the course around there. We're going to go one more time, and this one was actually a very good race. I really enjoyed this one. Starting in second, we have the Italian on pole position, and he just basically forgets to go and drops right down the order very quickly. I'm going to cover the inside. The lesson I've learnt from the race that I've done here is that if you leave even half a car length or half a car width on the inside, someone will just send it up the inside. So you basically have to leave no space and just make sure people don't go for it. Even then people would probably just send it on the grass. But okay, we're into the lead. We have to try to keep this for 5 laps. Ideally we just need to gap the Spaniards as quickly as possible. Get a nice, let's say a second gap. If we could do that, that would be nice and comfortable. But judging by the radar, he's right on my tail, so it's not going to be easy. We have a quick look behind, and he's still there. He's very much not dropping away. So I have to do a little bit better than this if I want to win this race. I'm going to have the close attention of him for more than just half a lap here. He's going to stick with me. As we come through the final corner, end of lap 1. That was a decent final corner actually, so it's not going to give him a chance into this first corner of lap number 2. So you're going quite deep. Actually, that was a little bit too deep, coming back for that late apex. You do have to trail brake, and that's something you do have to learn in these cars around this track, just braking whilst turning in towards the apex to really maximise your lap time, or minimise your lap time, should I say. Obviously you want your lap times to come down and not up. So coming through the hairpin into the right-hander, using the grass slightly on the inside, sweeping through to the left, and this guy's still there. So this is really a management race, just trying to manage that gap and just trying to be as quickly as possible, just trying to be as quick as possible, but making sure we don't defend excessively. So you don't really want to defend when you don't have to, because that would just put you on the back foot coming out of the corner. So just making sure that we only defend when you really have to. And in these races, you don't have to defend too much, but I suppose, well, I mean, the cars can easily go for moves from behind, because people will just send it. We've said that many times. I'm going to go to the inside this time. He has to go to the outside. And I'm going to park on the apex, make sure he can't go anywhere, and then we keep the lead. So we're just doing enough, but this guy is not going to leave me alone. It's not going to be an easy one. Just going to have to try and keep it nice and cool from here to the end. We're about halfway into the race now, halfway through lap 3 of 5. 2 minutes 45 has passed, so we're looking at just shy of 3 more minutes of racing to try to survive and keep him at bay. I'm going to have to go defensive here. He was very close, within range of a dive bomb. I was within the sights there of his launch capabilities, but he just didn't quite go for it, went defensive, and he thought better of it. Playing it nice and sensible. He's got the toe here. Is he going to go for the move? I'm not going to defend this one because I feel as though I can just sweep around the outside and just keep the position I do. And we'll keep the lead. 2 to go. This one's getting really rather tense because this guy's getting closer and closer with every lap. Into the first corner. I hit my spot a little bit, well actually a little bit too late. Tiny bit of contact through the corner, bit of door banging between the two of us. And he's got the momentum on the exit. He is slightly ahead. I do have the inside though as we come up into the next hairpin. He just gets ahead, sweeps across, goes a little bit too deep though. I'm going to get the apex, a nice tighter line as we come out. He's alongside me. Move over to the left. As we come into the right-hander, I'm going to have to back out as he sweeps across, goes a little bit too deep. I'm going to go to the right-hand side, which is going to be the inside for the hairpin coming up. And as we come in, he just turns across to the right very late, as perhaps he didn't know I was there. But I'm back up the inside and into the lead. In fact, a German has followed me through now. So a good little battle there, losing the lead twice, but regaining it. We've got control of the race once again. It was looking like it was going down the pan, but with 1 lap to go, we've regained control and only just have to keep our cool for about a minute more, and we've got the victory. So I messed up this corner on the previous lap. Can we get it a little bit better this time around? Yes, we can. That's a lot better. And the guys behind are not going to be close enough to challenge me now. In fact, just look at that group. The German who was in second, down to 4th, back to 3rd. The Spaniard back into 2nd. It really is kicking off back there, and it probably would do. At this point of the race, last lap, people are just going to get a lot more desperate, as we only have about 30 seconds of racing left to go. The gap, in fact, up to 1.3 now, as I come into the penultimate corner of the lap and of the race. And thankfully that is just going to secure my race win here, unless obviously I do something very stupid around this final corner, but I don't need to. I can take it nice and easy with a 1.5 second gap. And that is going to conclude this one. Let me know your thoughts, because this race really did kick off. It really is an aggressive race, and it wasn't the first time. The last time this combination came up, it was also very aggressive. Setting the fastest lap just to stamp the authority on that one. But that is all from me. Many thanks as always for watching. Thank you for making it this far into the video. If you want to check out more of Super GT, check out my Instagram and Twitter in the description. But that is all from me. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and well, have a nice day. I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.